And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and rock cod Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with rock cod Rick Maxa. We're live at Cajon Ford, Broadway and Main in El Cajon. Take the Greenfield exit off the 8th freeway. You'll find us here this morning at this fantastic Ford dealership. Yes, it is. It's our final San Diego County Ford dealer live remote. Your last chance to win that great trip to Katmai Lodge on Alaska Airlines and a lot of other great prizes. So come on down because we have a phenomenal guest this morning. Captain Tim Ekstrom from the Royal Star is here with us at this live broadcast. Going to have a great time. We have the casting contest. Ryan is here to take that casting contest and, of course, random draw and a lot of great prizes to give away. And come on down to Cajon Ford this morning. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Last year, we had an unbeatable fishing season, one of the best in decades. I think we'll all take another year just like it. Now, just imagine what it could be like if we have an unbeatable season 39 years in a row. Well, that's exactly what Ford has done with their F-Series pickups, America's best-selling trucks 39 years in a row. We love our F-150s here in San Diego. Ford trucks give you the freedom to launch your boat with ease thanks to Pro Trailer Backup Assist, the freedom to toss all your gear in the bed no matter how wet and messy it gets, and the freedom to fit 5 full-size guys comfortably in the cab. And right now, during the Ford Freedom Sales event, you'll get the freedom from interest charges with Ford's best finance rate of the year. Freedom from high monthly payments thanks to special summer lease programs, plus the freedom to save even more on trucks with smart bonus tags. It's an incredible combination of savings on an incredible lineup of trucks. So don't miss the Ford Freedom Sales event. Stop by your San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Let's talk candidly about long-range fishing. This is Captain Frank DePresti of the Royal Polaris and the Shogun. Nowhere on earth will you find a fleet of long-range boats like we have in San Diego. We are fortunate to have several top-notch operations to take you to the most productive fishing grounds in the world. We all offer good food, comfortable staterooms, huge bait capacity, and top-of-the-line fish-finding electronics. So why would you choose the Royal Polaris or the Shogun for your next long-range trip? What sets us apart from the rest? It's pretty simple. The boats, the crew, and the service. From the moment you arrive at Fisherman's Landing, the service begins. We help you load your gear and do everything possible to get beginners or seasoned veterans ready to catch fish. When it's time to fish, the Royal Polaris and the Shogun have the edge there too, delivering the 2 best fishing platforms in the fleet. But don't take my word for it. Come fishing with us. If you want the best, it's Royal Polaris and the Shogun. For more information, call 619-226-8030 or on the web at royalpolarissportfishing.com or shogunsportfishing.com.
Your hook is one of the most important parts of your fishing tackle, and that is why you should use the hook that sets the standard for quality and innovation. Gamakatsu. As Japan's leading hook manufacturer and growing at an amazing pace, Gamakatsu is responsible for introducing a unique tempering process to give Gamakatsu hooks superior strength and durability. Plus, the conically needle-honed points stay sharp. Gamakatsu offers a hook for every fishing situation, including the finest one-piece ringed hooks, light wire, standard and heavy-duty live bait hooks, and the popular Nautilus circle hooks. Get Gamakatsu hooks at your favorite tackle store and stay connected to that fish of a lifetime. Shimano is proud to present an opportunity for you to go fishing on 2 of the finest 3/4-day boats on the fleet and use the top-of-the-line Shimano gear. It's Terramar Tuesday, going on now through September. Join Shimano Pro staff aboard the San Diego out of Seaforth Sport Fishing, and coming in June, the new Liberty from Fisherman's Landing. These trips will be booked through the landing, and it's the same price as a regular 3/4-day trip. But the difference will be a selection of top-of-the-line Shimano Terramar rods and reels will be available for you to try, along with with an assortment of Shimano jigs and more. And a member of the Shimano Pro staff will be aboard to answer questions you may have. Terramar Tuesdays will feature Shimano Terramar rods with Trinidad A, Torium HG, Tranks, and Talica reels available for you to try for free. Don't miss Terramar Tuesday on the San Diego Out of Seaport Sport Fishing and beginning June 7th aboard the Liberty from Fisherman's Landing. Check the landing website for more details or the trips page at hookup1090.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090 live here at El Cajon Ford for the final of our Ford San Diego County live broadcast. Man, we saved the best for last. Time to come out and join us. Have a good time this morning.
No kidding. And boy, oh boy, it's a beautiful morning here in El Cajon. The best way to find it, since this is Rickyville, you give us the word.
Yeah, get yourself to the 8 freeway and just head 8 east until you come to the Greenfield exit. And once you hit Greenfield, you're just going to make a left, which is towards the west. And the first stoplight you come to will be Main. Head south on Main. It'll take you right to us.
There you go. Broadway and Main in El Cajon. There's other ways to get here, too, but that's the easiest way is right off the 8 there at Greenfield exit. Broadway and Main. And like our friend Coney Gwynn used to say, nobody beats El Cajon Ford. They still say it,
it's
right?
It's huge here, too. You can't miss it. When you're traveling out the 8 freeway, you'll see the dealership well before your turnoff, and you can't miss the amount of inventory these guys have. It's pretty impressive.
No kidding. And then you've got the Cellathon going on this weekend. And we're here from Paul Dyke later on this morning about that Cellathon. I always said, in fact, I was just telling our guests, if you're ever going to buy a Ford car or truck, you got to buy it on the Cellathon weekends. This is the weekend. This is the weekend I bought my truck. Sometimes I have inside information. It's like, buy it this weekend.
Yeah, you want to do it right now, bro.
So this is it. So if you're in the market, this is the time to do it. Broadway and Main in El Cajon and El Cajon Ford. Captain Tim Ekstrom getting ready. The boat is pulling in as you speak, right?
Yeah, they already pulled in, unloaded. They're fueling her up, and as soon as I go down, they're going to toss me the keys, and away we go.
We're out of here. You're going fishing.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
Yeah. How's things on the Royal Star?
You know what? Things are going fantastic. It's been a heck of a run. August has been great. It's been a great month for us. It's been a great month for the fleet. You know, there's been some local highs and lows for sure, but more highs and lows, thank goodness. The weather's been fantastic, treating all of us right. You know, for the local fleet, the skiff fleet, I mean, all you got to do is listen to Ricky's voice. It's almost gone from screaming at all those giant, yummy flyer bites on the big bluefin and everything else. It's just been crazy. Unbelievable. What a year.
No kidding.
It's just a weird year, though. I mean, who would have forecast that we'd have 300-pound bluefin tuna in our backyard?
Yeah. These are the holdovers, I think, from the past 4 years. They really didn't go anywhere. Obviously, the grub's been good around here.
They just grew up.
Yeah, they're just growing. It's as simple as that. There's plenty of forage and no reason to go anywhere else. And really, there isn't that much pressure. They really backed off the the quota that the Mexican commercial fleet has been allotted and abided by has really been reduced. So, relative to how much fish is around, they haven't taken that much, and that's just translated into incredible opportunity for the recreational anglers. The whole recreational fleet obviously has benefited. It's just been incredible. Yeah. I know we look at a heck of a lot more than we catch. We're not
frustrating. It's and everybody's like it's kind of like if you get one though.
Oh man, yeah.
It's like it's a fish of a lifetime.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You only need one. Or you make whatever. Even if it's those 50, 60 pounders, if you get a couple, 2, 3 of those that want to bite. That's a lot of fish, man. And actually makes it that much more gratifying. We all know that as anglers. When you really have to try hard for one and you get it, it means a little bit more.
Totally.
No kidding. Yeah. So Taro on the New Liberty out of Fisherman's Landing is getting them here. Huh?
Yeah, he's been
just
really
on
great.
Fire, man.
Both him and Terry, who runs the boat relief on Sunday, Monday, he's a phenomenal fisherman also. Those guys have been right at the top of the pack, day in, day out. They're right up there, and it's not by luck, It's
from
lucky,
day one, too.
Yeah, it's lucky if it happens once or twice, but that's kind of consistency. Those guys are doing fantastic. I don't know if you guys have been on the boat yet.
Oh, so nice.
The boat is just beautiful. I mean, it's beautifully pointed inside, but the deck layout, now that those stacks are gone, it opened up a ton of deck space. I mean, as far as a fishing platform goes, you can't beat it, and that boat is fast. And it's fast.
Yeah.
And, that
it gets to the spot, especially when you're offshore fishing like this. That makes a difference.
I mean, that thing gets it on, man. It easily cruises without even trying at 11 knots, and those guys can make 12 no problem if they want. I mean, that's not pushing it. That boat is just fast. It's a fast hull. It's just one of those. It's cool. Some boats are fast. Some boats they kind of chug along. That one just
That's
whatever.
one that
They
goes.
hit the sweet spot when they designed that hull.
Yeah.
We hear it every day in the shop how stoked guys are to have a 3/4 day boat with an option to go rack out at some point. You know, you drive down from L.A., you got a couple hours in the morning, you want to catch back up before you get to the fishing zone, or better yet, you got a long drive ahead of you to be able to go in and catch a couple hours of sleep and refresh yourself before you make your drive home. Like, we hear it every day how stoked people are to get to do that.
It's awful nice. That's a long day, you know, 3/4 day. You jump on the boat at 5:30 in the morning, and you know, we say 3/4 day. Those guys, they work at it. It's a rare day that they're in at 5:30 at night. And it's usually 6:30, 7:30. I know they got in at 9:30 the other night, so that's where that bunk does come in.
Absolutely,
big time. That's a long day to be sitting around or standing around. If you get a place to stretch out, that much better.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So Royal Star, hard to get a spot right now on the Royal Star, but I couldn't believe you told me you have openings on your 12-day coming up.
There's a couple of them. That trip was full for a long time. The one in October, it leaves the 21st. It gets back, what does that mean, November 2nd or something, November 3rd. But, yeah, that trip was full for a long time, and you know, a couple guys had schedule changes, whatever, and opened up. We've got, I think, 3 spots now. We filled a couple of them back up.
Whoa.
But
so where do you go on a 12-day in October?
You know, originally that trip was set up. John Vadney and I from Seeker worked it out, and we just kind of planned it out as being the perfect voyage at this time of year. It opens up all the options. You know, if you had to make a Hail Mary down, you know, in the buffer zone outside the Rivias, you'd have that option. But it was initially designed for that. We designed it to take advantage of Ridge, Alejos Rocks, and then Lower Banks. We wanted to throw a couple extra days of time in there to do a little bit of everything, or you know, a lot of one thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's all kinds of time to get down there on those lower banks and really focus on those great big ones if they're available. So we'll see this year. I mean, certainly Guadalupe's an option as well for us, either on the way down or the way back. If you know, we don't connect up on the tuna like we're looking for down below, we'll throw that in there as well.
So this would be, since everything is sold out going to Guadalupe this year, this would be like your only chance to get to Guadalupe this year.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably if you're talking about Royal Star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Get on it. The fish quality that you're bringing back is just off the charts.
It's been remarkable. It's crazy. It really has.
What is it that stuff eats down there at Guadalupe that it makes it so tasty?
You know, there's obviously an abundance of forage down there, all different kinds, because, you know, when we dress the fish out, prepping them for the RSW tanks, we see, you know, everything under the sun, from those little slender mola things to red crabs to, you know, that just typical deep water forage, just a little bit of, actually not a little, a lot of everything. That's obviously why they're there. Yeah. But there is something to that. Those fish are just swimming up and down that edge, just grazing, if you will. Just getting fatter and fatter and fatter.
And then you add in the processing that Fisherman's Processing does. Wow.
Yeah, the end product is pretty remarkable. You look at it coming out of the shop, and just, I mean, your mouth is watering just looking at it.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive, the whole process from beginning to end. You know, when you do it right, and that's been the beauty of that fishery out there, is that, you know, there really hasn't been. There's been so much fish available, and the quality is so good. It's enabled us to fully capitalize on it, but slow down at the same time,
right.
and really focus on each individual piece. And not that we don't anyway, but this just gives us a little bit more time again to just produce this absolutely perfect product. I can't tell you how consistent it's been. I mean, just like we want it.
We talk about it all the time on the show, and every time you're on, about the treatment that you guys and your crew give those fish when they come aboard. But this year in particular, I've taken like yet another level of respect. Getting to watch it over the years, you know, you always know how good a care you guys take it. But, you know, fishing on your boat, we try to, you know, I think that it's pretty well known that you guys kind of set the standard as far as taking care of the fish when they come aboard. So we try to do the same thing when we catch a fish on our private boat. And the amount of work that it takes to get one of those things fully cleaned and gilled and gutted, for us that don't do it all the time, it's a lot of work. And to watch how fluid and how fast those boys clean one of those from alive to completely spiked and bled and hollow and washed out and perfect, those guys do that in seconds. You know, and we put one on the deck of our boat, and it's like it's a 15-minute ordeal. You know,
isn't that funny?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Every once in a while we'll have a crew member that comes on, you know, fill-in guy who works a trip or two and goes to jump in the mix, and they're just a fish out of water.
What?
The guys have been doing it for so long. It's like you said. It's just it's like instinct now. The whole process is a minute or less to get one of those things prepped and ready for the tank. But if you just, you haven't made that cut 5,000 times, it's definitely more of a challenge than you might think it is if you're just watching those guys work.
The spike hits the right spot, the wire goes in the right spot, the cuts are in the right spot every single time. You watch us fumbling around on our boat, like, okay, hit him again. I think I got it this time. And next thing you know, the fish going crazy again. Nope, we didn't get it.
Most of the time, they don't even move. When you get it right, it's just they're
done.
It's over.
Game over. So you're obviously spending a lot of time fishing Mexican waters right now. How are our relations with Mexico right now?
You know what? We've had a fantastic experience down there. Absolutely incredible. The best thing I could say, the best example I could give is last trip that I ran out of Guadalupe, we had Juan Acereto on the boat, as well as his buddy Fausto Gutierrez. Yeah. And those guys, they've never been long-range fishing, right? All the time that we spent with Juan on the radio show and talking shop and fishing. And
Juan is the promotion, the marketing guy for the state of Sinaloa.
That's right.
Like the head guy, one of the main guys in the Sinaloa government.
Yeah, for the Federation of Recreational Anglers, recreational fishing.
And Mazatlan is the center of sport fishing in Mexico.
Exactly. And we had those two guys in the boat on a 7-day out there at Guadalupe. And I'm telling you, those guys, number one, I've never had more fun fishing with anglers on the boat. We just had a great time. They had a great time with the group on the boat as a whole, but as fishermen and as anglers from down south of the border, we've enjoyed so much time fishing down there. To have those guys in the boat and actually see what we do, in their home waters, it really opened their eyes to how much this fishery has advanced, how evolved we have become, from the back in the 80s and 90s when it was all about just catching a big pile of fish. Those guys came out and saw that we're the real deal now. Yeah. We go out there and we do it right. We're conscientious about what we take. We take care of our product, and we go about it in a very, very civilized way.
And now they're hooked.
They are.
They can't wait to come back, right?
They're
guys, bringing more of their friends.
They couldn't believe it.
I'll bet.
They could not believe it.
That's so good.
That style of live bait fishing, and of course they had a full complement of poppers and everything else. I mean, they were in hog heaven because those guys are hardcore fishermen, man. They're the real deal. Yeah. And they're like the kids in the candy store, up in the bow whipping poppers and just taking full advantage of what that island had to offer.
Wow.
Yeah,
and yet seeing your conservation efforts on the boat too, it's like, hey, we're good. We've caught enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you were talking about that great a fish and on that length of a trip, it's like, when you're catching tuna that are average, 80 to 120 pounds, throw in a few 150 pounders. An angler goes out there and you get 1, you get 2, you get 3, you get 5, you get 7. You start thinking, wow, what am I going to do with this? This translates into a lot of fish, especially if you're having it processed. The average yield is 50%, so you get upwards of 600, 800, 700 pounds of tuna, you're looking at 350 pounds of finished product. It's a lot of fish.
It's a lot of fish.
It's a lot of fish to eat, as the year unfolds. It's a lot of fish to share with family and friends, too. But there's definitely there's a threshold somewhere in there. It's different for everybody, but, it doesn't necessarily translate into limits. There's a lot of factors in there, mainly the size of the fish you're catching, the length of the trip you're on.
Well, good for you for getting helping.
Awesome.
You've always been at the forefront with our relations in Mexico and helping us, utilize together with Mexico the resources that they have.
Absolutely, it's a great thing. It's a great opportunity for all of us. Obviously we've come a long way as a fishery, as individuals, and the best thing I can say is that anglers themselves have evolved. It's not just at our urging or our prompting. The majority of anglers that come out now, they know when to put the brakes on.
Right.
They know when to go upstairs and take it all in and, maybe have a cocktail or two and just recognize that it's not all about having a fish tugging on the end of your line the entire time.
What's he talking about? Cocktail up top on the Royal Star? Have you ever done that?
Not familiar with that.
I don't know what you mean by
idea.
that.
It just draws you in.
I can imagine what my spot looks like right
now.
Calm.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
Sneak into the shower a little bit before everybody else. You're ready to go. I got it.
As you can hear, we have a great show lined up for you today, live at El Cajon Ford. Come on down. We already have a great group and come on down and join us. We're giving away tons of stuff.
So much fun, man. What a rad spot to finish off these Ford Live broadcasts at El Cajon Ford. Such a fisherman-friendly spot, and, man, Pete nailed it. We are giving away so much stuff. It's the end of it. We got everything to give away. We're blowing out all the prizes. And that's the fun thing if you haven't been to one of these Ford remote live broadcasts is during the break we have full raffles that the Cowboy gives away. And so you just see Tommy P or the Cowboy. As soon as you show up, he'll give you a ticket. It's totally free during all the breaks. We raffle off a bunch of stuff. But you can look at the table. There's all kinds of shirts from Aftco and Rapala lures and gift packs and gift certificates, and there's just so much cool stuff that you have an opportunity to win just for coming down and showing up here at El Cajon Ford. And, man, so many other great prizes to win, too, including the casting contest. If you want to be a part of Ryan's casting contest, you're going to have a shot at winning a Shimano rod. We're giving away an Aftco Alejos belt and a Rapala Williamson lure package. Plus, don't forget, the winner of the casting contest qualifies for one of those major grand prizes. If you do want to come in, ask a question of Tim Ekstrom, you can step up to the microphone. Today, our step-up microphone prize, a brand-new pair of World Cup Maui Jim sunglasses. That is the single most popular pair of sunglasses that we sell at Fisherman's Landing, those World Cup Maui Jims. They're awesome. This one is the Marlin frame with the neutral gray lens. It's a really nice pair of glasses.
Probably the number one pair that Maui Jim sells to fishermen.
It's definitely our biggest. That particular one, that frame, color, and lens combo, it's just awesome. And a really cool pair of Maui Jims. So one lucky person who steps up to the microphone is going to have that opportunity again. Just see the Cowboy, Tommy P. Let him know you'd like to step up to the microphone. You're going to be entered to win that great pair of glasses. And our callers, we certainly haven't forgot about you. If you want to give us a call this morning on Let's Talk Hookup, 2 ways that you can do that. And first is with our local line. That's 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. Or get us toll-free. That toll-free number, 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. Not only going to get a chance to talk to Captain Tim, you're going to get a shot at winning a half-day trip for 2 aboard the Daily Double out of Point Loma Sport Fishing. Those guys have been having great fishing this year, too. Really good calico bass fishing. It includes all the tackle rental if you need it. So great opportunity for you to come join us. Give us a call this morning. And as we said before, everybody that attends is going to get a ticket for all the great raffle prizes we're giving away. Plus, you're going to get to fill out an entry form to be one of the 8 qualifiers to win a trip to the world-famous Katmai Lodge on our Let's Talk Hookup trip, July of 2017. It includes 4 days of fishing, 4 nights lodging, all the meals at the lodge, and a round-trip ticket on Alaska Airlines from San Diego to Anchorage. We're going to draw the qualifier at the end of today's show, and you must be present if you're going to qualify. So the trip's going to be given away tomorrow morning on Let's Talk Hookup. I can't believe, just for coming up, hanging out, having some fun, having a coffee and a donut and get to hang out with us for a little bit, somebody's going to get an opportunity to win a trip to Katmai.
2 people are going to have a chance
How cool
to
is
win
that?
Trip to Katmai today. The casting contest as well as the random draw and all the other great prizes, too. Going to be a great day. So come on down and join us at El Cajon Ford, Broadway in Maine, and El Cajon. Take the Greenfield exit off the 8th freeway. You can't miss it. You know, I also want to mention, too, that Louis from CCA California is here. And Louis has generously donated a $50 ticket to the big CCA California San Diego chapter craft beer and food festival that's coming up on Saturday, October 1st at the Portuguese Hall right there in Point Loma. This is going to be a great event.
It's going to be cool.
It's really going to be a great event. Raffle prizes, silent auction. They're going to have a bunch of food trucks there. They're going to have craft beer trucks, a lot of sponsors giving away prizes. It's going to be a really fun event on Saturday, October 1st. I'll definitely be there, and don't want to miss that for sure. $50 ticket given away today, but if you want a ticket, Lewis has, I think, 8 of them, 7 of them here today that you can buy for $50. Yeah, so if you want to buy a ticket to, and, of course, support CCA California, which is our only hope here in California to save ourselves from those extreme environmental groups. Buy a ticket, support CCA. There you go.
You got it. Well, as you can hear, we just got a great show. Again, if you want to join us on the phones, 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. When we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls, taking those stand-up microphone questions, and a lot more with Captain Tim from the Royal Star. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Yellowtail and bluefin are here now, and it's time to go fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. The perfect rod to handle tough fish like these is Terramar from Shimano. The secret? TC4 construction. That delivers a rod that is light and sensitive, yet tough and powerful. Shimano Terramar should be your next rod. Fisherman's Landing Tackle has the best inventory in the country of Terramar rods and the experts to help you select them. Visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego or on the web at saltwatertackle.com. Fisherman's Landing has been the choice of sport fishing anglers for decades with the largest fleet of long-range boats worldwide, complemented by Southern California's finest charter and open party fleet. From a half-day trip on the Dolphin, overnight trips, and soon 3/4-day island trips on the Liberty. You can count on Fisherman's Landing to deliver the best. Check the website for all that is going on or call Fisherman's Landing at 619-221-8500. Book now at fishermanslanding.com.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
It's time to get outside on the east side and celebrate fall colors, arts, culture, and recreation in the Eastern Sierra. From now until the first snow, there are a variety of activities that capture the essence of autumn. In addition to enjoying fall color viewing, the season hosts fishing derbies and biking events to theater performances, a kite festival, and art festivals. Check out the Outside on the East Side details on the Fall Colors page at visitmammoth.com. That's visitmammoth.com.
Fishing is a lifestyle for many of us, and what you wear on your feet is a big part of that. So I like to live aloha and wear Olokai premium footwear. Every pair is created with the Hawaiian culture and heritage in mind, plus unique details and features. Olokai sandals are the best I've ever worn because they are based on the feeling of your bare foot in wet sand for a natural heel cup and arch support. Nothing could be more comfortable and good for your feet. Olokai makes footwear for any time of day or night. My favorite Olokai sandals are the Ohana, water resistant and great for the beach or the boat. My everyday Olokai is the Nohea mesh, so comfortable and you barely know you have them on. And for a night on the town, I choose the Maloa. They look great and feel amazing. Share your aloha with Olokai crew by following them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Olokai and tagging your photos with hashtag AnywhereAloha. Olokai premium footwear is now available at Fisherman's Landing Tackle, Dana Landing, and other fine tackle stores or at Olokai.com.
If the fish are biting, I'm on my boat, rain or shine. Of course, I wear my life jacket. It's like wearing a seatbelt. Clip it on, grab my tackle box, and hit the water.
Love California, Boat California, Save California. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Everyone likes special treatment, kind of feel like a VIP. Well, that's how our listeners are treated at Poway Valley Collision. I have personally heard of several stories of how well our friends Jim and Mary take care of their customers that we sent them. Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. We know you may not need them today, but when accidents happen, it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. And listen to this. Our listeners get a special discount that can save you hundreds of dollars on your car or truck repair. Just tell them you listen to the show and you get the deal. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. Just bring your car or truck to them and let Poway Valley Collision do the rest. I have had my truck repaired at Poway Valley Collision and the job was perfect. So get your vehicle fixed right at Poway Valley Collision. Tell them you listen to Let's Talk Hookup and they'll save you money on your repair. Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090 again, live here at El Cajon Ford, having a great time, talking some fishing, and man, having a good time doing it. This is a good spot.
Oh, yeah, Captain Bob Fletcher's on the line. Good morning, Dart.
Good morning, Pete, Ricky, and Tim. It's a great show.
Hey, thanks, Dart.
Good morning.
Hey, man, I'm just calling because you were talking about wondering what to do with all that yellowfin you've been getting, and I wanted to remind you and your listeners that there is a great alternative for excess fish. It's called Fish Across the Border.
Yeah.
Hey, that's great. That is a great idea.
It is coming up on our 25th year where we take that fish that's donated by anglers and go down to Ensenada in January every year, and we hand out baskets of food, blankets, and toys, and we've done up to over 900 families have received food bags and blankets and really important protein when these poor folks need it, and it goes directly to them. And I just wanted to make sure you all know that's an option. As we go into the fall fishing, more and more of that yellowfin may be available, and if you have an extra one, give it to Fish Across the Border, and it'll be taken care of.
And how do you do that, Dart? When you land at the San Diego landings or Seaforth, how do you give it to Fish Across the Border?
Well, it's mostly coming out of the San Diego Long Range Fleet, and it goes straight to the canning service right there at the landing when you get in, and just say you want to donate a fish or two to Fish Across the Border, and they will give you a receipt for the number of pounds of fish you donated, and then that fish will go into the freezer, and at the end of the year, they add up the total weight of the fish donated, and we have a exchange process set up by the Fish and Game Commission that allows you to trade your fresh fish for canned fish, and we've taken as many as 290 cases of canned tuna and delivered it to the Ensenada Rotary to hand out to needy families and halfway houses that take care of the homeless and orphanages in the greater Ensenada area. And we have a great relationship with Ensenada Rotary, and they are the movers and shakers in business down there. So it helps us, it helps them, and it helps those people in need.
Wonderful program for sure. And we posted a video that your son put together about Fish Across the Border on our Facebook page a couple weeks ago. You can actually search for that, Fish Across the Border, on our Facebook page, and check that video out. It's very, very cool. Captain Bob Fletcher, thank you very much for doing that effort, and that certainly, again, helps us with our relations down there in Mexico, is helping take care of the needy people down in Ensenada. Certainly a great effort that you're putting forth there. Thanks a lot for the call this morning, Dart.
You bet, Pete. Thank you, guys.
All right. Again, we're live at El Cajon Ford, right here, Broadway and Main in El Cajon. We have the casting contest going full speed, and Cowboy and Tommy are giving away stuff full speed. He's still got some donuts there. Lewis is over there selling tickets for that big fundraiser for CCA California San Diego chapter for the big craft beer fest. The food, that sounds right up your alley there, Ricky.
Don't threaten me with a good time, man.
October 1st down at the Portuguese Hall. And Captain Tim Ekstrom from the Royal Star is here. Let's go ahead and bring Dave from Poway up here as our first guy. Step up to the mic. Dave, thanks for being down here at El Cajon Ford. And don't forget, they have the Ford Sellathon going on right now at El Cajon Ford. Great deals, great time to buy, and we're going to hear from Paul later on about that great Sellathon. Good morning.
What's up, Dave?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Dave.
Hey, I've been on the Royal Star, went on a day and a half last year, had a great experience with it, and I've fished a bunch locally on anywhere from half to 3-day trips, but I'm going to take a 6-day on the Searcher here in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And I just wondered if you had any advice of, how to prepare and equip yourself for that difference between relatively short-term to mid-range length trip.
I got to be honest with you. I think the gear requirements, especially right now, they're probably going to be pretty similar. In particular, because there's been this bigger tuna up here local. I might normally say, well, if you're going on a 6-day, you might have an opportunity, down below somewhere to run into some bigger size fish. But again, this bigger size fish is right here in our backyard. So the one thing I would say for sure is be prepared to be tangled with bigger size tuna, something in that 40 to 100 pound class, maybe even bigger because some of this bluefin out here. But make sure you bring your 2-speed reel, something in the size range of a Talica 16 or a Talica 20 comparable Avid reel, something in that size range though, with a 60-pound top shot. Maybe even have an 80-pound top shot queued up, ready to go. It's a live bait fish, sardine fish for that grade of tuna. That's what I would suggest.
Okay, good. Any other advice beyond that of what you see of guys who go on trips like that for the first time for that length? Anything that would enhance your success possibility?
I think as far as enhancing your success goes, At that point, you're on a 6-day. You're probably going to have plenty of fishing time. I think I would focus on enhancing your success as a vacation. Recognize that you're going on a 6-day. It's not a sprint. Yeah. It's not the 100-yard dash. It's a marathon. You got plenty of time, and don't lose sight of the fact, again, that it's a vacation. I know that anglers in general, when it's a shorter trip, you have a tendency to really want to maximize every opportunity that instant it happens, where when you get on a longer trip, the idea is that you have more time. You can actually kind of, sit back and again, take it all in, recognize that you're out there, you're taking a fishing vacation. And part of vacation entails slowing down, relaxing, right? Yeah. Making sure that you enjoy the experience overall. There's more to fishing than, I said it earlier, than just having a fish on the end of your line. You're going out in the middle of the ocean. There's a lot of other things to look at. There's a lot of things to appreciate about this world. So that would be my advice. Make sure you take it all in.
That's very true. I've said that for a long time. Fishing is a lot more of a rich experience than just pulling on the fish.
It should be.
Yeah.
Cool. It should be, for sure.
Indeed. Hey, thanks for coming down to El Cajon Ford. Good luck on that trip.
Thanks, Dave.
Appreciate that very much. I might add, Cowboy and Tommy stashed some of the bigger items for the raffle near the end.
Yeah.
Did you see that over there?
Yeah.
He stashed an AFCO kite and AFCO belt. And, we're giving away a great assortment of Rapala lures and Williamson lures, a lot of AFCO products, a lot of AFCO clothing and AFCO products there. And a lot of good stuff for our casting contest too. That nice, you get a choice of a Shimano rod and the AFCO belt along with the bait net, and then that Rapala Williamson assortment there. That's all kinds of stuff. And we just want to throw a big thank you out to our sponsors there that provide all this great equipment, and sure appreciate their help. Hey, Sarah Lee Myers is here, and while Sarah Lee's stepping up to the mic, let's go ahead and jump into the phone.
You got it. Shane in Long Beach is going to be joining us on the phones this morning. Shane, good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing great, Shane.
Good
morning.
Morning. I'm looking to do one of these bluefin trips, but everyone has, I don't know, questions. They won't answer the question, how much does it cost to clean? One of those.
You're talking about for fish processing?
No, if it's on the boat, do they clean them there, or do they not clean them on the boat? I mean, I never.
Are you talking about on a shorter trip? There's a few variables in there. We got to determine what length of a trip you're going on, because
it would be like an overnight, 2-day, just something to get into the bluefin.
I think some of the boats still clean them on the boat. I don't know. It depends on the size of the fish. What the processing fees are or the fillet fees are on board right now.
And you can always opt to send your fish to Fisherman's Processing too when you get back.
Sure. Maybe Ricky can fill us in on the local boats.
I think you hit it exactly. Every boat is run as their own individual business, and some of them just prefer to use a premium service like a Fisherman's Processing and just make sure they do their best to make sure that the processor's available to meet your boat when they can. And one thing, too, if you're going to do a trip like that, especially with this big fish that's going on right now, it sure doesn't hurt to call Sean or Melanie and just say, hey, I'm going on this boat on this day, and I'm hoping to get a big one, and I'd really like to utilize your service for getting the fish processed, just to give them a heads up ahead of time so that they can hopefully make any arrangements for you. But each individual boat is different as far as cost and whether or not they do process your fish. Each boat is a kind of a case-by-case scenario.
And just call the landing, and they'll fill you in on how it works. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Sarah Lee, thanks for joining us here at El Cajon Ford.
Morning.
It's always a pleasure. I was also going to tell the person who's going on a long trip, if you have special dietary needs, a lot of times they will cook special foods for you.
Perfect. You're right.
So if you're diabetic, I know David came back with his blood sugar better.
Because he had a great chef cooking for him.
When they left. When you do fish processing, how long does it last? Is it like tuna in a can, or does it stay for a long period of time?
I think you're good for at least a year, especially if you go with those 5 mil bags. They got a couple options. You can go in a 3 millimeter bag or a 5 millimeter. If you haven't packaged it in the 5 mil, you're good for a year in the freezer easily, and even longer. I've talked to plenty of anglers who told me that it was a year and a half or even 2 years, and they pulled it out of the freezer, and it was like the day they caught it.
So cool.
I don't know if that's exactly true, but I know it was a dang good product. So you're safe for sure for a year in the freezer and probably longer.
Okay, thank you.
Colder the better, too.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for coming down to El Cajon Ford. Don and Woodland. Oh, excuse me. We got Cass on the line.
Yeah,
right?
We're going to find out what's biting down in the Baja. It's time for our Baja and mainland Mexico catch report with the man, Richard Castaneda from Cast Tours. And today, speaking of processing, the catch report sponsored by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you will receive the absolute finest fish processing while you wait from your local, your long range, or your private boat trip. They have taken the San Diego processing business to new levels with superior service, superior product, and innovation, just like we talked about, pre-booking your processing orders, those awesome tuna burgers, the best smoke and jerky in the business. You can friend them on Facebook at Fisherman's Processing, or for more details, check fishermansprocessing.com. And we got the cast man, Richard Castaneda from Cast Tours, on the line. Buenos dias, cast man.
Hey, buenos dias, Ricky, Pedro, Tim. Always a good show when you got Tim on board there.
I agree.
Anyway, Pete, looks like the fishing is, that fall fishing is coming up, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty good season. Things are really starting to happen, especially around that San Jose del Cabo area up in the Sea of Cortez there around the Iman, San Luis, banks there. East Cape boats, San Jose del Cabo boats, both fishing that area. The Iman continually, always giving up tuna. I just can't believe that bank. It's just incredible. Those tuna there aren't really huge, but they're going up to 50, 60 pounds, mostly being taken on cut squid. Guys using butterfly jigs also picking them up. And there's some bigger tuna out at the Gordo. There was a couple of big fish. I think one estimated about 300 taken this past week. The other one was about 150. So those fish are there. You just got to be patient, and you got to work at them. Trolling live skipjack, live bolito just seems to be the ticket on these big fish. And look for that to really get better. More and more big fish showing up there in the next month to 2 months. And like I say, it looks like it's going to be a really good fall fishery. And the other good sign is that they're getting more and more Dorado in the count in that, like I say, San Jose del Cabo, East Cape area. Not a lot, but every week it seems to be increasing. More fish coming in the area. Nothing really giant. Most of them are going to be 15 and 25 pounds on the large size. But like I said, that's really good fishery. Still plenty of blue marlin, like you heard Mark Ware's fish report last week. Probably one of the best blue marlin season in all that that he's been around, because I know he's been down the East Cape for probably 25, 30 years. And but yeah, it's really been a banner blue marlin season. Nice quality fish. Still some striped marlin around. Sales haven't really come in big numbers, but they are getting a few sales here and there. Over in Mazatlan there, it's sailfish and tuna, but not a lot of people in town. Same thing with Ixtapas y Montenegro, man. They're really hurting for people down there. Of course, this isn't their time of year. Wintertime, springtime is fabulous down there as far as weather and fishing, but the fishing's been really, really good down there. They're releasing 1 to 2 sailfish a day. They got a pretty good tuna bite out at 20 miles, nothing big, 40, 50-pound fish, nice grade. And, of course, inshore the rooster fish. But, Pete, that's the report for this week. Just to remind the listeners, I've got one boat left for our Pesca Panama trip, the end of March. So either for 2 or 3 guys want to join us on that trip, that's open. Still got plenty of spots left on our Christmas Island trip for next June, the last week in June there. Fabulous tuna fishing. Of course, always the bonefish and those fabulous giant tremallis. But anybody wants to join us on any of those group trips that we have left, give us a call at Cast Tours at 800-593-6510 or on the web at www.casttours.com. And guys, I'll talk to you next Saturday.
Right on, Cass, man. Certainly some good fishing to be had right now and some cool trips coming up. I'm with you, man. That Christmas Island is a trip of a lifetime and a very cool opportunity for somebody to get in on a very unique and cool trip. Cass, great report. As always, appreciate it. One more time, shoot us the phone number if somebody wants to take advantage of all the great spots in Baja.
800-593-6510.
All right. Thanks, Cass, man. Talk to you next week.
Thanks, Ricky.
Don in Woodland Hills here at El Cajon Ford. Step up to the mic, Don.
Morning, Don.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Thanks for coming all the way from Woodland Hills.
Hey, my pleasure. My pleasure. Got to make one of these at least once a year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's awesome, Don.
Hey, Tim, my question's for you. We talk a lot about line, we talk about rods and reels, etc. Let's talk a little bit about hooks. What are some of the errors that you see fishermen make as far as on your trips in hook selection and hook set?
First of all, it's great to attach a face to the name. Don from Woodland Hills. How many times have I seen you on the screen pleasure.
Yeah.
You know what? I have to say that I think the most common mistake that I see anglers make as far as a hook set is when they use a circle hook and they actually try to set the hook rather than just put the reel in gear and wind and let the hook set itself, which is really all that's necessary. Honestly, when you're fishing tuna, that's all that's necessary when you're using any hook, a J hook, a circle hook. So I think as far as their hook selection goes, it's pretty tough to go wrong nowadays when you're talking about hooks, be it you're going to have to help me with some brands, but, if you're talking about the Eagle Claws, the 2004s or even the 5s, those new Mustad Trocars, is that the one?
Eagle Claw's a Trocar.
Eagle Claw Trocar. What's the Mustad one?
The Demon Circle hook.
Yeah, those Demons. I mean, they're all good hooks.
Nautilus hook.
I don't see hooks, the hook itself failing or really costing the angler a fish. Maybe an angler will be a little too conservative in their hook size. That's one thing. If the fish are biting, I see anglers have a tendency to go smaller than they need to. It's remarkable how many times a tuna will bite an 8-0 or a 9-0 or 7-0 on the small end, and I see anglers out there using 4-0s and 5-0s, and as a result, they're probably pulling a few more hooks than they would if they were using something that grabs a little more meat when they set the hook. So I went about it in a roundabout way, but I think that's probably the number one mistake. I think anglers downsize on their hook. They're concerned about getting a bite, and they go a little too light when they can use a bigger hook, and that'll translate into better results. More fish that are landed as a result, as opposed to hooks that pull.
That's a really good call with what's going on right now too, with the grade of fish that we're catching on shorter trips. The standard game that we typically target on a day-and-a-half trip is a 25-pound tuna. Well, right now, when you have a chance of catching a 125-pound tuna, you can get away with so much more. Maybe the wrong way or the small size or light line or small hooks when you're catching a 25-pounder. But those big ones there's like a whole different deal, and sometimes you just have to use a big hook, and people are, I don't want to not get a bite, or I don't want to not get this, but you need to get something in those real big ones. They pull hard, and the hinge of their jaw is much bigger than a small one, and those 100-pounders require bigger fare. You just have to give it to them.
Hey, thanks for coming down to El Cajon Ford. Enjoy your stay, and you won an AFCO face mask.
Yeah, nice.
Awesome. Look at that. Very good.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more great information. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
The Longfin in Orange, Southern California's premier fishing superstore, is having their 5th annual parking lot sale and Customer Appreciation Day Saturday, September 17th. This is not just a sale, it's a celebration for their 30th anniversary. Truly a big event. Meet representatives from Shimano, Power Pro, CalStar, Phoenix, Daiwa, Avent, Seeker, Accurate Berkeley, Soft Steel, Okuma, MC Swim Baits, Penn, Seagar, and more. Representatives from over 20 manufacturers will be there. Take advantage of tremendous savings on fresh and saltwater tackle. Free reel service with minimum purchase. Plus, you can win big as the Longfin shows their appreciation to you with a big raffle and hundreds of free giveaways. You will certainly find what you want at unbelievable prices for this one-day-only sale. It's all happening Saturday, September 17th from 7 to 7 at the Longfin, 2730 East Chapman, just off the 55 freeway in Orange. For directions or more information, check out the website at thelongfin.com. Nothing is more exciting than fishing Cedros Island on a Hobie Mirage Drive kayak. And Cedros Kayak Fishing will hook you up on this amazing experience. Cedros Kayak Fishing offers deluxe accommodations in their beautiful secluded casita, with all the comforts you would expect from a high-end resort, including single occupancy rooms and filtered water. Kayak tours are on Hobie Outback kayaks with bait tanks, fish finder, and VHF radios to ensure a great experience. Fly to Cedros and travel light, as Cedros Tackle has a fully outfitted tackle shop, including top-of-the-line rental gear. After a long day on the water, enjoy delicious local cuisine prepared by the staff. Cedros Kayak Adventures also has a fully outfitted panga and off-road truck and trailer to take you to super secluded spots. Fish where the others don't with Cedros Kayak Fishing. Come join Jeff and the gang for a great trip on Cedros Island. Visit the website at cedroskayakfishing.com for more information and to book your trip.
Hey, it's time to talk about great gear from Shimano. It's again, got to talk about Talica because it is the real when you want to run big fish on small tackle.
for what's going on right now. How do you beat that when you're going on a trip that may be catching a 20-pound yellowfin or a 125-pound yellowfin or a 150-pound bluefin, but you've still got to be able to fly line a reel. I mean, you need something that's going to be able to handle a big one. And I know there's nobody that's seen the capabilities of that reel more than the guy sitting next to us.
Right, Tim?
That Talica 20, that thing is just, it's a monster.
It's anything.
It is a monster. I can't believe how many anglers, they just grind those 100-pound yellowfin in just one after another.
It's pretty amazing.
They're
so
incredible.
Cool.
That between the gearing and just how comfortable that reel is to fish with, it goes back to being able to fly line that bait. That reel with anything from 60 even up, guys fishing 100 even. I've seen guys fish 130, but it's just... It's an amazing reel. It is. It's incredible.
That's your choice, right? Talica 20.
That's what I'd grab.
Get it at your local Shimano dealer or check out Shimano.com.
For East Cape fishing, Jen Wren is known as the best. This is Mark Rayer. Great service, top quality equipment, including all accurate reels, CalStar rods, and Cimarron electronics, has put my immaculately maintained twin-engine cruisers in a class of their own. For memories of a lifetime, just bring your hat and sunglasses, and we'll provide a fishing experience that will exceed your expectations. Our calendar's filling fast, so don't miss out. For packages, 2 live webcams, a weekly fishery report, and more, check out TeamJenWren.com. We pick up at all East Cape resorts, so let's go fishing.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now 18 stores throughout Southern California and 3 in San Diego County. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find the location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
The best NFL coverage is right here. San Diego sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. We're live here at El Cajon Ford. Great crowd going on right now. Great time and great opportunity to come join us and get in the casting contest. All the great raffle prizes and hang out and have some fun.
Yeah, and buy a new Ford car or truck on the Cellathon weekend here at El Cajon Ford, Broadway and Main in El Cajon. So plenty of time to come on down and join us here. Win a prize, have a chance to go to Alaska, Katmai Lodge on Alaska Airlines. And that's going to be somebody's going to be really, really happy.
No doubt.
But even if you don't win the Katmai Lodge trip, we've got Shimano Trinidad A20 reels with a matching Trez rod. What's that, about $800, $900 bucks? We've got 4 of those.
Crazy.
And then we have Maui Jim sunglasses. And we have, of course, that trip on the Blackjack. Your very own 4-pack on the Blackjack.
You get your own charter.
Out of Dana Landing.
How cool is that?
Yeah, so even if you don't win the Katmai Lodge trip, you're still doing pretty well, for sure. Hey, I want to mention, while we have Dan in La Mesa, Dan, if you're around, come on and step up at the mic. American Angler has, hard to believe, a 7-day Ken's Custom Reel trip with a spot available on September 25th. One of our great friends over there,
Ken's
Brian, Sam, and Lori. So you want to go with Ken. They have a couple spots left on that 7-day at the end of September, Sunday, September 25th. Hard to find a spot on that boat as well as Royal Star, but American Angler, pretty awesome place. Ken's Custom Reel, 7-day. Call Lori in the office. The American Anglers departs Sunday, September 25th. Check that out. Good morning, Dan.
What's up, Dan?
Good morning. I was on a recent day-and-a-half trip, and once we got bait and we're heading out to the point and everybody got signed in and settled down, the cook comes out and sprinkles a little bit of cream of wheat in each bait tank. And that's the first time I'd ever seen that. And you look down in there, and looks like they're gilling and feeding and all that stuff. Is that something that you routinely do, or is it just for show?
Well, I think if the bait was just loaded, I'm not sure the bait would go into a feeding mode right away. It obviously made an impression on you. It was a great show. Yeah, I don't know how effective it was, feeding them a cream of wheat breakfast, if that's going to make them better for the next day, and for the morning. But
he kind of smiled and winked and said they're going to have a big day tomorrow.
That's
maybe it was like a lucky rite of passage.
It made sense to me. I've never seen it before.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's some ritual, throw a handful of cream of wheat in each tank.
Did you have a good day the next day?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there you go. See?
I'm not sure it made a difference. I'm not sure if it was just for show or something that you guys do on a routine basis. Like, it's the first time I've ever seen it.
We don't do that on a routine basis, but that doesn't mean that that's neither here nor there. If they do, more power to them.
Do you feed your bait on a long trip?
What we feed them is, we have hatches on the wells below deck that have those holes in them,
right.
And all the blood from the fish, and we're dressing fish out, all that runs into the tanks, and they feed on it.
They feed on it.
They feed on it big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
if you're going to have bait in the tanks more than, say, 8-10 days, it does make a difference. You want to supplement them for sure.
You want to be healthy.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. A couple days after getting scooped, they're probably not in the mode of wanting to chow down.
Yeah, it takes a few days for them to settle in and cure out, if you will. An old room. The old guy said that if you fed them, bread stuff like cream of wheat, that it would make them fat and lazy. Which I swear to God, and we found that to be kind of the case. They will fatten up, and they just. If they're in their tank for a long time, if you feed them, they don't go anywhere. You cast them out, it looks great, and they just sit there.
Yeah, they're just like hanging out here.
Yeah.
It's like a big
mashed potato serving.
But that straight protein diet of all the blood and the eggs and stuff we smash on the deck and wash it in there, man, they're champions.
Yeah, for sure.
And Tim, I'd love to see you go old school. I'll give you my CalStar and my 2-speed reel for a chance for a bamboo rod and what 10 feet of line and a little squid on the end and throw a tuna over my shoulder.
Oh, there you go.
That's definitely old school.
Hey, I can imagine the chaos. You get a bunch of guys off the street, put them in the racks, you got tunas flying everywhere, but that would be my bucket list thing.
All right.
Dream,
thank you.
No doubt.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming down to El Cajon Ford. Appreciate that. Let's jump into those phones, Rick.
You got it, man. Well, they're jam-packed. Next up, we're going to talk to Dennis, who's calling us from Anaheim this morning. Dennis, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Let's Talk Hookup.
Yes, good morning. I have a question for Tim.
Go ahead,
Tim, you're talking about when you catch tuna and everything on different boats, they have a freezer where they put them in and stuff right away, or the brine. But let's say that you have a regular boat that you go out, a boater, and you catch one of those big tunas. What's the best way to prepare it? You know what I mean? Bleed it, or what do you do?
Are you talking about a skiff or a private boat?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so first thing I would do is say you get one of those 100-pound tuna. I would knock it down, like have a spike, something just like a medium-sized Phillips screwdriver, if you will, just for an idea of the length, and right above the eyes, just drive it into the fish's head at like a 45-degree angle and hit it in the brain. That kills it immediately, and then. The next thing you want to do, the easiest way to bleed them out is just to clip one of the gill rakers, lift its gill plate up and clip one of the rakers in half. That'll pump all the blood out of it. And then, in a perfect world, you're going to remove the innards too. You're going to take the gills and the guts out of it. And then I think from what I've seen, the best way to store those fish, I don't know how you guys do it, Ricky, but do you put them in one of those bags?
Yes, totally.
Yeah, you get one of those bags and you use a very, very significant amount of ice, and you actually take that ice and you pack, where you took all the innards out of it, pack that belly cavity full of ice, and then surround the fish in ice in the bag, zip it up, and away you go. That thing's going to be premium.
That's exactly
There
it.
you go. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Dave from Encinitas. Thanks for coming down to El Cajon Ford, Dave.
What's up, Dave?
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
I had a question. I had a smaller reel that I wanted to maybe try to get one of those bigger bluefin on. Do you think it's a bad idea to maybe do start off with 40 or 50 pound spectra and then work its way and then splice into an 80 pound? This way I get the line capacity if I get one of those bigger fish.
What size reel is it?
Like one of those spinning reels, like a accurate SR20.
We better consult the tackle expert on this one.
Well, the method of attaching multiple sizes of spectra probably isn't the bad idea, but the other part maybe not as good of an idea. Attaching multiple sizes of spectra is definitely a way of increasing your line capacity, and you're not putting exactly the same amount of pressure when that fish is 30 feet away from you as when he's stretched out several hundred yards. But I don't know what that's really gaining you either, other than a strong, the connection is stronger with a heavier pound test of spectra. So yeah, that would definitely be a way of adding it. Maybe filling your reel with 65 and then just fishing the last 100 feet. So when that fish is straight up and down, and maybe you're more apt to be rubbing on the side of the boat or getting into tangles, you have a heavier piece of line there. But the one thing I can say with this, it's big fish right now for sure, and sometimes trying to trying to purposely get away with the smallest reel possible is not the best idea. I mean, they're big ones for sure. Not saying that reel isn't capable of handling it, but if you have heavier tackle in your arsenal that you could get a bite on, you'd probably be a lot better off when you hooked one.
I think it's good to make that point too. And have you ever pulled on bigger tuna?
Oh yeah.
So but for anglers who haven't, it's a totally different game when you get into tuna that are, say, in excess of that threshold is around 150 pounds, 130 pounds. It's a different ball game. What you can get away with on a 100-pounder, you can't get away with on a 150-pounder or a 180-pounder. It just doesn't work. And I've seen anglers make that mistake time and time again. There may be some real big ones around. They've got their light gear, their lighter outfit, and they cast out because they want to get a bite, or they just don't know any better, and then they get schooled the hard way. And I guess it's a rite of passage. We all have to get smoked, to learn the lesson. But, we of course try to educate our anglers in advance.
Are you seeing any 180s out at the island right now, or is it pretty much that 110, 130?
There's a lot more of that 110 to 130. The biggest one I've seen is 163.
163.
Yeah.
That's a nice fish.
We've had a couple, 3 handfuls of like 145 to 155s.
Nice.
And I'm sure there's some of those bigger ones around.
I think.
They're there.
Yeah.
They are,
and they're
sure.
eating, so they're getting bigger every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I know that like last trip I saw 2 anglers lose all the line on their reel. So
nice.
Yeah, and they were good sized fish. Good sized reel.
Yeah.
And good anglers.
I heard a saying fishing on Tim's boat that is always my favorite when it comes to that. And somebody said, "I've never been attached to a really big fish and wish I had a smaller reel in my hand."
Yeah.
Maybe plenty of times when you're standing at the rail, but when you're attached to a big one, there is no replacement for how much physically easier it is on the angler with a big reel. Just turning the handle, the amount of drag pressure, like. You hook the same size fish on a 30 reel versus a 50 reel. The ease and effort on the angler's part is it's tenfold. It's not half as good. It's 4 or 5 times as easy.
Well, and to shrink that down, the difference between a Talica 16 and a Talica 20.
Yes,
it's
both powerful reels, but they're still.
It's night and day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's night and day. The 16, it's a great reel, but when you're talking about a fish that, again, is in excess of, say, 150 pounds, you're in the driver's seat with that 20. With the 16, he's got you.
You're along for the ride.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming down to El Cajon Ford.
All right, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup. Another full hour coming your way. More of your phone calls. We're going to check in with the catch report, find out what's biting up and down the beach. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090. Rock Cod Rick here for West Coast Marine and Parker Boats. You see them all over Southern California waters. Parker Boats at the launch ramp, the offshore islands. You wake up in the morning on an overnight trip and there they are. Parker Boats of all size fishing in the same area as the sporties. There's a good reason for it. Fishability and seaworthiness. Of all the boats out there, my boat partner and I chose to get a brand new 25 Parker center console from Kevin Kelly and the gang at West Coast Marine, and I could not be happier. Wow, what a fishing machine. Parker Marine builds a heavy-duty, industrial-strength boat, probably overbuilt, but that's why so many 4- and 6-pack charters choose to operate Parkers. We thank the guys at Pinnacle Sport Fishing, Season Sport Fishing, One-Man Charters, Black and Blue Sport Fishing for their confidence in Parker boats. Take it from me, if you are ready for a new Parker at a fair, upfront, and honest deal, you need to see Kevin Kelly at West Coast Marine, located at 1555 Newport Boulevard in Costa Mesa, or check out their inventory and information at westcoastmarine.com.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
Rancho Leonero was awarded the Certificate of Excellence from TripAdvisor for 4 straight years. Especially interesting, most hotels are just hotels, and most people stay in the hotel and go do their activities elsewhere. Rancho Leonero, of course, provides fishing, diving, all activities, all meals, your whole vacation. So the fact that we're so highly rated, we're very proud of it. From picking you up at the airport to dropping you off, literally everything is turnkey from there. We make it as easy as we can for you at the ranch. From your meals to whether you're going to go fishing or diving or just hang out by the pool. When you're coming to Rancho Leonero, you are coming to John Ireland's home. I guarantee the best fishing vacation experience in all of Baja. It's unique. There's nowhere that I could think of to get the same experience that you get at Rancho Leonero. Our new reservation phone number is 800-646-2252, 646-BAJA, and rancholeonero.com. It's really unique. It is. We're very proud of it.
Information is the key to success, and inside information is even better. When it comes to fishing, inside information is critical, and that's what FishDope.com delivers. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and save fuel. FishDope.com is the only SST service with a satellite oceanographic PhD on board. The only fish finding service with a spotter plane. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com boasts the largest code group anywhere, covering sport boats, commercial boats, and private boaters. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. What I'm telling you is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, good luck. Membership costs less than 40 gallons of gas for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, stay tuned for the special code to save $20 on a FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Aztecs.
He's gone. Touchdown, Aztecs.
San Diego sports leader, the mighty 1090.
If you are ready to experience a real Alaska fishing adventure, check out Whalers Cove Lodge in Angoon, Alaska. The calm waters around Whalers Cove are 100 miles from any large towns, so you will enjoy a wilderness adventure without any crowds. Whalers Cove Lodge has some of the best salt and freshwater fishing in Alaska, and there is no need for a bumpy boat ride for hours. You can find productive fishing for salmon, halibut, and rockfish just 10 minutes from the lodge. Whalers Cove also offers fantastic freshwater fishing in wilderness streams for wild salmon and trout. The Whalers Cove experience will fulfill your wildest Alaska dreams on the calm water of the Inside Passage or on a spectacular stream. It's your choice every day at the Whalers Cove Lodge. After fishing, you will dine on fabulous meals created daily by the Whalers Cove chefs and relax in your comfortable room or cabin. Learn more about this exciting Alaska destination on their website at WhalersCoveLodge.com or call 800-423-3123. Whalers Cove Lodge, a real Alaskan fishing adventure.
Last year, we had an unbeatable fishing season, one of the best in decades. I think we'll all take another year just like it. Now, just imagine what it could be like if we have an unbeatable season 39 years in a row. Well, that's exactly what Ford has done with their F-Series pickups, America's best-selling trucks 39 years in a row. We love our F-150s here in San Diego. Ford trucks give you the freedom to launch your boat with ease thanks to Pro Trailer Backup Assist, the freedom to toss all your gear in the bed no matter how wet and messy it gets, and the freedom to fit 5 full-size guys comfortably in the cab. And right now, during the Ford Freedom Sales Event, you'll get the freedom from interest charges with Ford's best finance rate of the year. Freedom from high monthly payments thanks to special summer lease programs, plus the freedom to save even more on trucks with smart bonus tags. It's an incredible combination of savings on an incredible lineup of trucks. So don't miss the Ford Freedom Sales Event. Stop by your San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
For local and long-range fishing, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among seasoned or novice anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. They also do incredible Guadalupe white shark diving trips as well as a schedule of kayak mothership trips. You need to check out the Islander on their website, islander-charters.com. The Islander is San Diego's leader when it comes to 2 to 5 day fishing. Watch the website for trips and adventures available. Experience the Islander difference. Visit islander-charters.com for all the details.